Yo, what is good? Hope everyone is doing well. So, sorry I haven't been uploading, still been in a lot of pain with the back. The main reason I haven't been uploading was due to my internet connection compiled with the bugs of Season 4 Reloaded update. 3.7.0 I believe that one was. That one had a major flaw in it. Some of you might have been aware, some of you might not. If you were having performance issues, the reason was it was deleting the stream data over and over and over, so you were in a continual cycle of streaming data. Now for me personally, this happened about 6 times in a row. I'd get to about 9.5, sometimes 10, and then it would delete me back to 7 gigabytes. And what that meant was my phone was constantly hot, constantly lagging, and due to the fact that I was on about 10 megabits per second, which equates to about 1.3 megabytes download speed, constantly in a cycle of streaming data, made the game near enough unplayable. So I just didn't bother uploading because every game was lagging like crazy, and it was just, you know, I'd half the time just quit out the match because it was that bad. I tried all the game modes and all of them were bad. I deleted it, reinstalled just to give it another try, just to check that it wasn't just some weirdness with my install, and I wasn't at a losing point because it was deleting my data and taking me back to what the app size would be anyway. So I re-downloaded, had the same issues, and I just gave up playing. I actually just deleted the app and I didn't update until we had the new update. So this newest update, let's get into that. But firstly, just to address for people, if you are using iOS 18 beta and are crashing, it is the iOS 18 causing the crashing, not the game. Okay, I've verified it myself and I've had other users ask me. I've told them to come off it and they confirmed that once they removed iOS 18 they stopped crashing. So if I am only talking for iOS devices, I don't know about Android devices because I don't have them, but even low-end devices, if you're crashing and you're using iOS 18, it's because of iOS 18, and that is a very likely outcome due to the fact that it's not even a public beta. It's for developers to test their apps and obviously improve their app performance for new releases in the future and get ahead of the curve. So if you're using the developer beta and it's not a public one, you need to expect crashing and just general bad performance, overheating on the battery, because it's a fully untested version. With that out the way, so let's get into the newest update that happened last Wednesday. I myself didn't actually update until the Thursday. Now I just feel like this game is cursed at this point because I installed the game. I'm now on my new internet connection, so when I'm downloading over Wi-Fi, or should I say when I test my internet connection speed over Wi-Fi on my phone, I get 650 megabits per second, which is amazing, and 107 to 110 upload speed, and again, really amazing. So I can now 100% say I'm not lagging because of my internet connection. Every second that gives me the capacity to download 77 megabytes per second. So every 20 seconds I could download 1.5 gig, and you'll see where I'm getting with this. So when I started to optimize this phone, and obviously I done it from a fresh install, I was getting decent performance. And this is what's really strange and why I feel this game is just cursed and it's not going to get any better. I was getting 60 FPS and the game felt pretty good. The more and more I played to optimize the phone and start streaming the data, the lower the frame rate got. Nothing crazy, but what I can tell you is with the lower frame rate, sometimes 55, sometimes 50. In a really bad match we might get 42. I've played at least 60 matches on BR now, and I've played some other matches on Rebirth. I've played some multiplayer, and I can't tell you just how slow this streaming data process is and how invasive it is to your phone's general performance. And I just don't think they understand how damaging it is to the game. And it's just something that's just really putting me off this game now, because it's just like a constant cycle of optimizing the bloody phone, and then they make an update and change the graphics settings, which then means you need to stream all the data again, and you're starting at scratch. So you then have like, let me just point out, okay, so I've played 60 matches on Verdansk over about a 4-day period. I updated Thursday morning. It's now Monday. I didn't play much yesterday, but during Saturday there was a couple of days where I played solidly nearly for the whole day, and it's horrible. There's so much input lag. It's making my sensitivity just feel god awful. It's making the resolution not settle properly, where it was fine at the start of the optimization process, but the further I've got in, I'm now at like 9.8 gigabytes. But it just seems like I can't get to this finalized optimization point, which I've shown in other videos before. I've not had that screen come up. And what I have noticed is it will get rid of a little bit of data, and then it will go back up a bit of data, then it will get rid of a little bit of data, then it will go, and I'm talking like maybe 20-30 megabytes in size, sometimes 100 megabytes. Because I've not played yesterday, I looked just now before I started this video, and I've lost about 300 megabytes. That's not a massive issue. The fact is just how long it's taken. Like I tell you, my internet connection, 650 megabits is not my whole bandwidth. I've got a 950 megabits line, so even if I was using my phone and downloading at that maximum speed, it's not going to choke out my connection. So I theoretically could play this game and stream during a match 1.5 gigabyte and I'm not going to be lagging. Okay, I've got a crazy good latency to the game, so again I should not be lagging. All throughout this optimization process, you're lagging, you feel really slow, like there's this sluggishness, and it's not even always frame dropping. There's just this weirdness to this game, and it's the optimization process that is causing it. And it's really starting to put me off this game, and I just hope, I've lost hope. And that's the shame. That's the sad thing, because these devs keep promising so much and delivering so little. It's just starting to become of like, I don't think this is the one anymore. It's really a shame, because this game has so much potential, but the performance side of it is, it's just becoming so inconsistent, where I've had this game run perfectly, so it's not my device, it's not my internet connection, and like I say, it's just taking so long. Why is it taking 4 days to download like 2.5 gig while playing? It's not my connection. It's something is fundamentally flawed, because the most I've downloaded in a match is 700 megabytes. The least I've downloaded in a match is 100 megabytes or 200 megabytes, but you'll play some matches where you're not streaming any data. And I just find it strange, like, why is this a thing now? Like, surely if my phone has streamed this data before in the past, why couldn't it just be a downloadable thing? Because we're not talking about a massive difference in size. So if we're talking the app, when you download it and do the first install, for me personally at 7 gigabytes, why is it that this 3.5 extra gigabytes needs to be such a painful process? I understand that it's downloading shaders specific for your CPU and GPU, which is fine, but once we've gone through the process once, why can't it be available to download those shaders that you've already optimized for your phone prior? Why can't it then be like an option to download the game when a new update comes? You just straight download that 3.5 gigabytes of data, and then it can do an optimization process just to refine it if they've made some changes. Obviously if they change the graphics settings, you have to download all of it again, but that's the point. Why are we changing the graphics settings? There was nothing wrong with the graphics settings on iOS. All you needed to do was improve upon the actual optimization of the game, the heating issues, the memory leak issues that was causing crashing. They're the game breaking issues, not the graphics. We don't need very low, high or medium. We just need a graphics setting that looks decent, with a resolution setting that looks decent, that actually fucking runs. It's not that complex, man. It really isn't. Like, but they're catering to these people, mainly on Android, that I just got devices that aren't really compatible with this game. Like, it's a very heavy game because of the type of game that it is. It is more advanced than other games that are out on the market, and it's not to do with, oh, it's a PC port. This game was built up from scratch. It might be using a PC engine, they might be using assets from the PC and console game, but you are still playing a game that's being built up. These are not the same shaders. These are not the same fucking like you're using the assets, like the map assets. But everything, I can tell you, the trees on Warzone Mobile are not the trees that were on the PC version. They're totally different games, and this is what people get caught up on, is just constantly blame the game. I don't blame the engine at all. It's very capable to run on medium to high-end devices. Low-end devices, you are always gonna struggle to run this at 60 FPS. Why? Because it's a very intensive game, and just low-end phones, they're not gaming phones, and neither are mid-end iPhones. They're not designed for gaming. So to run a very high-level game which has good graphics, it's always going to be an issue, because it's the amount of players as well. On a map, if you're playing Verdansk, there can be up to probably 80 real players. You know, that is just a nightmare for a phone. So on that side of it, they've done well to make this game work, but what they're dropping the ball with is the optimization, and it's like they don't know what they're doing at this point. It's like, we'll remove this, we'll try that, oh, that don't work, we'll do this, we'll do that, that makes it work. It just seems to be like a guessing game at this point. We've changed our graphic settings 3 times now. We've got more resolution options. None of them seem to make the game run any differently, run any better, and I'd almost say sometimes worse, because I've noticed in this last update, my resolution will just be unsettled in midpoints of matches, and in other games, like, textures aren't rendering properly, people will go invisible, and I can 100% say it's not the device, because I've had it where it's never done it before. And, you know, on the low-end device, on the iPhone XR, it's always been an issue. There's always been render bugs. There's always been things that you're like, that's probably the device, okay? That's not the game as such. That's just the RAM speed and the CPU, and just, you know, it's just struggling to run this game, and it's you know, it's not a shock to me. But when you've got a device that ran the game perfectly, that is now just not running the game perfectly, we're back to having massive input lag, desync, and just making your controls feel shitty, then you'll have matches where the visibility is just terrible, and the graphics, I don't know what they've done with the colours or the like, it just doesn't look good now. I think it looked so much better like 2 seasons ago, and I was happy with where the game was, and all it needed was just sort out the heating issues and sort out the frame drops. That was it, literally it. Game felt perfect, had no problems with it. I feel so far away from that at the moment that it's a real shame, because it just makes me not want to play. I might as well just boot up my PC and just fucking play the PC console version. Why don't I always play PC? Because the massive issue on that platform is hackers. I hadn't played for 2 months since the Warzone Mobile launch, and I stopped playing because all I kept getting put into was hack lobbies. It's not fun. So I stopped playing. I reloaded, I updated my game on PC the other day, and I jumped into Warzone, and straight away I was like, holy shit, like, not even how good the graphics look, it was just how clear the resolution is. I've not got this blurry weirdness that I can't see in the distance, and I can barely see things up close. And that's not a field of view thing either. Like most of the games on 90 on the FOV on PC, I play on about 115. I've tried higher resolutions field of views. I've tried lower. Like you just cannot play this game on 80 FOV. You just can't. You can have your camera breaking all the time. In close gunfights, you just feel slow. It's just not a thing. So 90 is the lowest I will play on. And like I say, there's just this real weird, like, I can't see fully, and I haven't had that issue before in other updates. Another thing I want to highlight is, in recordings, it seems to clear up the resolution, and someone else commented this on Reddit, and I was like, I'm glad I'm not the only one that notices, because sometimes I'll play a match, and it's so piss poor, like, the resolution and just the graphics. And I'm like, that's crazy. Let me check what the recording looked like. And the recording will look fine. And it's just a weird thing. That it's like, it must be their servers that are struggling to give everyone the information. I know it's not my connection, like I say. So it's like the servers are just poor quality. And they struggle to deliver the shaders that you're trying to download at a decent speed, and then that messes the resolution of surfaces and what you're looking at, because you're not streamed the data on the fly quick enough. It just generally, it just feels like a bad update, and it just feels like this game is constantly going to be cursed. And they're just like, yeah, we've had improvements, but we seem to have gone backwards now. We're going backwards to, this is now feeling... The update before this was the worst one I've ever actually played, and I refused to play it. I just deleted the app. You know, I tried my best to see if I could fix the issues. No, once I determined that there was a problem with the game, I'm actually removing that app. I'm not... You know, I'm struggling to defend the game now, and I notice so many people are leaving the game, and it's a shame, because, like, will they scrap the game? Probably not, because they'll just keep it open, because it's not a loss, it's not a major loss to them. There's still people that can play it on high-end devices. There's still lots of people that are just addicted to buying bundles, and they don't care how the game runs. But back to the point of playing on PC, I just straight away, matches instantly filled, 13 millisecond latency in every single match that I played. I played about 3 matches, and it just felt great. Like, just the hit reg, everything felt really good and improved. Like, it's always felt good on PC, of course, but I'm just talking about the new connection side of things. Like, I never used to get more than sort of like 18 to 24 milliseconds of latency. Rare occasions I might get like down in this 15, 16. So to be getting 13 milliseconds of latency when the COD data center is in London and I live 140 miles away, 13 milliseconds of latency is pretty damn impressive. And just knowing that, like, I'm not streaming data, my resolution is settled and everything, it just felt so much of a good experience to play on PC, to then try and play on mobile when it's got all the problems that it's had. It just feels like an absolute chore to play. Now, I don't want to run on too long, and this was just a quick update of my general why I haven't been uploading, my experiences with the updates. And I'm probably going to wrap it up there, because I don't want to just continue to complain. But like I say, taking 4 days to fucking stream data to optimize the phone, like, what is that about? We're talking 3.5 gigabytes of data. I've got a connection speed where I can download 1.5 gigabytes in 20 seconds. And that's not even at max capacity of my router. That's just over Wi-Fi on a mobile. Which is insane. Why is it taking me 4 fucking days of just playing through shitty feeling just to try and get to an optimal, finalized optimization point? That needs to change. There's something fundamentally broken with this whole process, and it's really detrimental to the performance of the game and the enjoyment of the game, which essentially drives players away. And it's getting to the point where it's like, have they done this purposely to try and drive people to the PC and console game? And the point I really feel there, they're losing so many players on PC and console because of skill-based matchmaking being so ramped up, and the fact that there's so many hackers. And because, like I say, after my third game of not playing for 2 months, I get killed by a level 12 hacker with wall hacks and aimbot, and it just makes you not want to play the game. But I'm going to shut up there. I will do an update and I'll try get this phone optimized, same with the XR, and I'll try and persevere, and hopefully we can get to a decent place. Not holding my fingers crossed, but I really hope the game does improve. Anyway, peace out, much love, catch you in the next one.